Hi, Gemini. Welcome to Pandora Astrology's monthly horoscope for February of 2021. This month, those questions I mentioned in last month's horoscope about what does it all mean anyway are persisting. But some of your focus has moved to career also, and you can get answers to both of these really big questions in a Natal and Transit reading. And you'll find the link for that is in the YouTube description below. In last month's horoscope, I talked about 2021 feeling lighter and brighter than 2020, which it does, because Jupiter and Saturn have left Capricorn for Aquarius. And during February in particular, Saturn is connecting with Chiron and Uranus in the first of three connections to each during the course of the year. This is going to bring us a lot of opportunities to really check ourselves and heal our relationship to the authoritarian and also the authoritative without and within. So that's a pretty big thought. And if there's anything in your chart, in particular in the span of 6 to 12 degrees in a fixed sign, meaning Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, or Scorpio, then you will absolutely feel this. And I know you're Gemini, but chances of you having something in that zone are actually pretty good. You can find out more about it in our 2021 news playlist on our YouTube channel. But right now, we're going to turn our attention to Mars, Venus, and Mercury. Hey, Julia, take it away.
Well, Gemini, I'll start with Mars. That's the planet of activity. And wherever we have Mars is also where we can kind of how we express our anger or where our anger might go for that month. And Mars is going to spend the entire month in your 12th house. This is a very isolated house. This is a very hidden house. And if Mars is how we expend our energy, then you might prefer to work more on your own than be a part of the team this month, whether that's in your career or even in your social life. You might just kind of prefer to kind of get your work done on your own, for example. And if you do get angry this month, you're probably not going to be super upfront about it. Mars in the 12th house has a way of expressing itself through passive aggression too. So, just be sort of aware of that, especially if other people are calling you out on it. Now, Venus, the planet of art, beauty, and relationships, begins the month in your 9th house. And this is the house of everything in life that broadens you. So things like travel, things like education and adventure. Venus has a lot to do with our relationship. So if you're in a relationship, you're going to want to have a lot of sort of new, fresh experiences with a partner, maybe get a good change of scenery, take a little trip somewhere, or learn something kind of consciousness expanding together. And if you're single, then this transit can also bring an attraction to somebody else that comes from a really different background than you, because the 9th house represents foreigners or anybody who, may have grown up differently, maybe a different religion, maybe a different ethnicity. Now, on February 25th, Venus is going to enter your 10th house. This is the house of authority figures and career. So during that part of the transit, you're going to be getting along really, really well with the people that you work with, and any authority figures in your life, whether those are your bosses or your parents or your teachers. Now, Mercury, the planet of communication and mentation, begins the month retrograde also in your 9th house, the house of the higher mind. Again, all the things that broaden you. So if you are in school or if you're having to learn anything new, say in your professional life, you might have to go over what you thought you already knew, even if you thought you had grasped something. It might show you that you haven't quite learned it the way you thought you did yet. The 9th house is also a house of promotion too. So if you do anything to promote yourself, whether you have a blog, whether you're on Instagram, whether you do YouTube videos, for example, you also might have to go back and sort of maybe review your approach, review your strategy, review how you want to get your word out there too. Now on February 8th, we have Epiphany Day because Mercury is going to be closely conjoined the sun. So you can expect some mental clarity that day to kind of help you resolve some of these Mercury retrograde issues I was just talking about. And Mercury is finally going to go direct on February 20th, but I would give it about a week after that date to fully say that the retrograde cycle is over, because right on the 20th, it's going to pivot and start moving forward, but it's still going to be going very slowly. And we like to see it kind of speed up. That usually takes about a week before we can really conclusively say that the cycle is over.
Yeah. Yeah, and notice this big pile of planets in Aquarius here in the 9th house. Such a big theme, as Julia said, travel and adventure. And these themes are going to be up very much during the new moon in Aquarius happening on February 11th. with its feeling of new beginnings and birth and freshness. We are calling this one leaning into the age of Aquarius, and it brings such a humanitarian feel. And it's going to be, part of this process of you asking yourself the really big questions and being on a search for meaning in life this month. So that moon is a really good time to, take a fresh start on life's journey, you might say. Then we see that there is a seasonal shift as the sun moves into Pisces right here on February 18th. And this is really the beginning of several planets moving out of Aquarius and into Pisces over the end of February. And as we move into March, Venus will be doing that, as Julia said, and Mercury will eventually make its way into that house. And that is the house of career for you. That is the house of your goals and aspirations, the big things that you're working towards and the legacy that you can leave behind. And so there will be a full moon involving this house on the 27th. And that's really right about when Mercury's influence is, Mercury retrograde's influence is completely over. And so this full moon places the moon in the fourth house, which is home and family, domestic life, heritage, and roots. And so this full moon is a really great time for you to engage in some self-care in terms of spiffing up your nest and making it a more comfortable place so that when you go out to work, you can really engage with it and merge with it as you like to do. We're calling this moon being of service on your own terms because it has a really wonderful trine from the moon to Uranus and a sextile from Uranus to the sun. And if you want to know more about these moons, you should check our February 2021 news playlist. So we've been saying for a couple of months that this winter is a really good time to start new projects because all of the outer planets are direct right now. And check it out. Here's Pluto direct, Saturn direct, Jupiter direct, no little retrograde symbols, right? Neptune is direct, Chiron is direct, and Uranus is direct, all at once. And that's kind of a rare thing. It's pretty cool, actually. And it means that projects that you begin are not going to have built-in obstructions, frustrations, and self-sabotage mechanisms. Instead, those projects should go pretty swimmingly. All you have to do is wait for Mercury retrograde to be well over by about February 25th or 27th. And then through the end of February and all the way through March is a really good time to accept that first dollar in exchange for goods or services with your new business, or make that big purchase of a car or a condo. And you'll find that it, should do well for you in its whole lifespan. So that's all we have for you today. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please do like it on YouTube, so share it with your friends and family, and subscribe. You can always find your horoscope on our website, pandoraastrology.com. And that's also the place to go if you want to get that reading that I spoke of, and also if you wanted to take a class. And until next time, we'll see you around the cosmos. Bye.
Bye-bye.